All right, thank you for joining. Today we'll go over some stocks and some crypto. Gonna start leaning more towards the stocks because, to be honest, crypto, not much going on besides Bitcoin selling off massively, right? The Bitcoin bear market is in full effect. We just broke another trend line, which means more than likely we're gonna start seeing some massive sell offs happening, bringing Bitcoin most likely down to the $50,000 range area. You can see what happened last time this trend line was broken. Let me go ahead and go down to the weekly. When this trend line was broken, massive drop to the downside. We are talking about let's go here, a 30% drop. If you are to get something similar to that this time, let's go ahead and put this here. If you are going to go ahead and get something similar to this 30% drop, Bitcoin will be dropping well below 50,000, possibly even 43, which would make sense because there is a massive or very big support zone right here, around 43,000, right? And it's just a very nice area of support, something to keep in mind. That's where I think Bitcoin is targeting. Like I said before, it will take a few weeks to play out. May not get there until mid to late June, possibly early July. But that's just normal in the Bitcoin cycle, right? You know, people say, "Oh, Bitcoin's never going back down below 50,000." You know, a few months ago it was already in the 50s, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if the next leg down brings it below 50,000. Where I eventually think the bottom of Bitcoin will probably come in at around $30,000. You know, call me crazy, but I can definitely see 30,000, possibly even $25,000 Bitcoin in the future, right? And that's not really that crazy because the last cycle, Bitcoin was trading at around almost 80,000, right? Well, 70,000, and it went all the way down to 15,000. So what's so hard to believe that Bitcoin can't drop from $125,000 down to around 30,000, right? Which is still 100% higher than the previous low. I believe that's what's going to happen. It's just going to take some time to play out. I am looking to stay short on Bitcoin and all trades and pretty much crypto in general, especially once we get a decisive break below this level, right? So yesterday, Bitcoin had a very nice bearish sell-off, closed below the trend line, so very bearish. So what could happen next is we can possibly get a fake out candle to bring Bitcoin back above, and then we try to make higher highs. But if the bearish action does continue, we might go back up, retest, and then continue down, targeting that $50,000 area, which is what I think will happen next. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it with Bitcoin. It is at support, right? It is at support. Even though it is looking very bearish, it is at support. And we'll see what happens in the next few weeks here. We do have a bullish order block, which we already got a reaction from, right? And we're still selling off some more. So more than likely, these lows is what's going to be tested, which sits around 49,000. So yeah, that's just the next target. There's not much else to really say about that. We go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Another big boy. All right. Ethereum going off the fixed range volume profile tool. You can see ETH is more than likely going to target the lows at around $1,000. Yeah, I would not be surprised to see these lows get swept on Ethereum around $800. I think $800 Ethereum is definitely in the target. We already came all the way up, took out these highs around 4,800, and it looks like we're just doing a full value rotation, trading within the range, and the next major target is $850. It's just going to take a very long time, but mixing that in with the point of control, value rotation, liquidity, $850 ETH is going to be my target. I think that's exactly where we're heading. It's just going to take some time to get there. You might not even get there till the end of the year, to be honest, but I think it's going to get there within the next year. Chart is not looking bullish at all. Again, trend line broke, massive sell-off. Very similar to what Bitcoin is doing now. Trend line is breaking. Massive sell-off is most likely incoming this week. This week, very likely. If not this week, for sure next week, extremely bearish. It's already been very bearish for Bitcoin over the past 4 months, right? 4 weeks. Ever since we went into this weekly fair value gap, right? We've just been selling off, lower and lower and lower. Yeah, very bearish rejection right there. Now, we don't have any fair value gaps on the weekly. On a daily, we might. We have one right here, which was never tested. So price has just been one-time framing for the most part. No fair value gaps there. Just massive repricing for lower prices, right? Just something to keep in mind. So yeah, like I said, I wanted to go ahead and focus more on stocks because the stock market has been pretty crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and post this to my X account. BTC. Could also add SPY. Stocks. And crypto live stream. Jump in. Let's go ahead and drop that link. Remember to like and subscribe. I definitely will be doing more stocks lately because the stock market has been absolutely ripping, right? Let's go to the focus. Let's look at the NQ. Go ahead and hide a bunch of this. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and create a group. And we can leave this on, right? So just look at that bullish price action for the NQ, the NASDAQ. Extremely bullish. You don't really see climbs like this too often, going from 22,000 to 30,000 without a correction. So I do believe a pretty big correction should be incoming very soon. It could continue just to grind up over a very long time. But the thing is, a lot of times in the stock market, when you get pushes like this, eventually we will start to see a topping off pattern, right? And we're definitely, things are just looking a little crazy right now. Extremely crazy, especially with what's going on in the world geopolitically. I could just see a correction happening. Obviously, it does not have to, but I think it can. But, it's a bull market. We don't know where the top is. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and zoom on in, right? You'll see, let me go ahead and readjust these, right? So yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Let's go ahead and add the 50%. All right, so we have yesterday's EQ has shifted. It's already looking like a local top happening, but the thing is, on a new day already, we've sold off that much. So tomorrow could just be a recovery day, unless we just get a very bearish candle, something like this. It is possible, but I think if we start defending yesterday's low, right, this is when you can actually go ahead and Zoom in really quick. It's like one-time framing, right? So if the previous day's lows have all been defended, besides here when it came to retest the breakout. I hate when I keep doing this. But yeah, if we do defend these lows right here for NASDAQ, then pretty much the entire day tomorrow, we're just going to be a slow grind to the upside to take out the liquidity of the highs. So this is when you can break the day into quarters, right? And then you could just pay attention to what's happening at these important levels from yesterday. Because the aim of the game is to really see, okay, we're selling off. We've sold off already after opening up, right? New York time is market opens at 6 p.m. Sold off for the past 3 hours. Already tested what you can arguably call, or what I call, the nav zone, which is technically like this, right? Already tested it. So this could be the low for today. Very possible. Defending yesterday's low, and then just a slow grind back up to the upside to take out the highs, right? I'm sure there's probably some internal liquidity that's been swept. I have to look on like the lower time frame. Some liquidity, nothing too crazy. The most highest liquidity for sure is yesterday's low. Like there's just a lot of equal lows down here. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's a target. But like I said, if the previous day's low, yesterday's low gets defended, this could possibly be the low of the day, right? It's just something to keep in mind. So let me go back to the daily here. I could argue that there is a daily order block here. Let's go down to the 4 hour. See, we tested the order block, got a reaction, and we're kind of tested that again. That's how sensitive that area is. Look at that. Getting a bounce from that area again. A little confluence for sure, right? Got the .75786 nav zone retracement into the order block, daily order block, into a discount of yesterday's range, right? Not a bad area for me to consider going long, actually. Like, not bad area at all. And then if you get some bullish price action to come in here, and then we start breaking out of this trend, this is when that long starts looking a lot nicer. And then possibly, like I said, that low, this could be the possible low of the day, right? So yesterday took out London's lows, Asia lows, double bottom, and ripped to the upside, creating a new high. Trading above 30,000 decisively. It's pretty insane. Yeah, I'm liking how the NASDAQ is looking right now, and Q for a possible long entry targeting new highs for tomorrow. I'm not even sure, what does the economic calendar say here? Anything crazy happening tomorrow? Let's see. Inflation, media, let's do job openings, inflation rate year over year, 5 a.m. So European Union, okay, it's pretty big. And this one's 10 a.m. So 5, 10, and it's at 8:30. 9:30. Interesting. If you really want to be a ICT entry, previous high taken out, impulsive move, liquidity taken. Very interesting area. Fair value gap on the 1 minute. Like I said, to target the new highs. All right, well, enough of this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at gold. I don't think I updated this chart yet. Did I? I did update it. No, I didn't. So gold. Same thing. Usual strategy here with gold. Rearranged yesterday's low, yesterday's high. Can go ahead and pull our fibs. Line it up with yesterday's EQ. Take a look at the price action. Only two ways this can go, right? As always in trading. But I think right now, looking at the previous day high, previous day low, little sell off, we are pretty much right there at last week's EQ, right? So right at that discount sensitivity area, dipped below, buyers stepped in. Looks like it probably even went to the golden pocket. Yeah, look at that exact touch of the golden pocket. Bounced. It might even target yesterday's high, which looks like very nice internal liquidity before possibly another move down, right? It kind of looks like a perfect setup for it to take yesterday's high, get close to last week's high, create a one-time framing lower high on the weekly, and then just continue to move down lower. That seems like more of a higher probability play, in my opinion, for the rest of the week. Definitely something that can play out for sure. Looks very nice. Technically, everything is lining up very nicely to play out that way. Doesn't mean it has to, but it does look like that's most likely what can happen here in the near future. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at NVIDIA. I have not updated this chart in a while. So NVIDIA, before with NVIDIA, this is what I did. I created like a parallel channel and I just copied it, put it right above itself, kind of like a one-to-one extension. It hit it exactly, so 50% away extension outside of the range, tapped it exactly, and then came back down, retested the high. Now it looks like it's moving higher once again. So very bullish, obviously. Let's go ahead and update the previous week highs. Yeah, so last week it didn't really move that much because we're already outside of last week's range, which is interesting. All right, so this is going to be a new daily high, daily low. Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of resistance at 227, but I think new highs are coming for NVIDIA. We already made a solid low. Tap some support. Next target should be 236. It's pretty crazy to think about. Yeah, just super bullish market structure. Nothing weak about this trend at all. Yeah, it just looks like bullish and looks like higher prices to come. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if you get a little bit of a sell-off tomorrow, maybe end the day a little bit higher. That seems more likely, just to clean up some of this inefficiency on NVIDIA. But if we don't get that, then yeah, we're just going to push higher. Weekly already broke out of the weekly downtrend. Looking to create a weekly swing low, which would be extra bullish, of course. Yeah, monthly, just everything is super bullish with NVIDIA. I am liking the way I was looking, just like the rest of the world, I guess. But sometimes it does make you want to be a little cautious, just because everyone's so bullish. That's when the best time is to wreck everyone, right? It would be nice to get another pullback to like the 218 area before continuing higher. That's where I would be really looking to possibly enter a long, in my opinion. And it's nice because right above it is a fair value gap. I'll go ahead and delete this alert. And I just put 4H for 4-hour fair value gap. And then we can go ahead and take a look at Palantir, which I am bullish on. It's getting rejected here. If we can push above $160 on Palantir, then yeah, I'm expecting new all-time highs for sure. This is the next biggest challenge. We are at local range highs, right? As you can see, that is a range. We are at local range highs. Market's looking extremely bullish. We need to see that continuation. I'll push through this level, stop out some shorts, get some fuel, push higher. Aim for at least, you know, this is the clear support resistance zone for Palantir. This is just where we had some resistance, and I can go ahead and just pull it all the way back. I mean, then you can really see what I'm talking about here. Resistance, support, support, support. It came through resistance, support, support. So this is an extremely technical area for Palantir, around 170 to 175. So yeah, I don't really think much is going to stop it until we hit at least 170. As you can see, we get above that, then new all-time highs is for sure going to be my next target. Very, very bullish chart. Yeah, but the overall range for sure is just 130 to 109 for Palantir if you want to keep it simple. And we are at least aiming for 50% of that range, which is right above, you know, 166, give or take, with around 175 being a nice golden pocket area. But the target is pretty much there. It's pretty much there. So tomorrow might be a little tricky. It's looking a little weak now, but yeah, I am expecting higher prices for Palantir for sure. What else we got here? CRM for sure is something I've been keeping an eye on. Hit very important quarterly order block. We got a nice bounce off of it. It's been bullish the past few weeks. Nice little breakout. Of course, massive resistance incoming, right here. I don't see much stopping it till it at least gets to 220. That's just the next area with high resistance. Once we get to that 220 area, that's where I would be looking to see this flip into a support. And if that flips into support, then, you know, we just got to take it level by level, right? Where's the next area to aim for? Right there, 269. That's where the next amount of shorts are loaded up. And once that gets tested, then the next area, again, will be right here, 296. And then after that, it's just a run to all-time highs. So very interesting levels to keep an eye on for CRM. I am actually going to be looking to enter long on a pullback. If we get one, we are hitting this little cluster of resistance right there. But any decent pullbacks would be a green light for me, right? It looks like a green light for me. Yeah, right around there seems to be. Yeah, so right now we are just trading in this range. This is the new range, 190 to 220, right? Kind of in the middle of nowhere. You want to wait for that pullback. We have a 4-hour demand zone at that 190 mark, lining up with the support resistance. So for sure, that is where I am looking to possibly enter long on CRM if we can get it. And to be honest, I would like to be alerted as soon as it hits this gap if we get that retest. What's going on here? Yes, keep that. And I will delete this one. So a couple stocks to keep an eye on. Anything else? You know, we do have Tesla. I think Tesla is, keep this short, very bullish. Getting the pullback on Tesla, which is actually very nice. My area of interest was, let's see, we're getting the pullback on Tesla, which was nice. Area of interest was around 406. I think if you get that retest and price holds here, 406, all-time highs is the next target. Somewhat equal highs here. Shorts are building up. They're building up some fuel so that when price reaches back at these levels, you kind of get like a little short squeeze right to the all-time highs, right? Might happen pretty quick, to be honest. Breaking through $500 would not be surprised. SpaceX is launching. Some people might be taking some profits out of Tesla to then put into SpaceX. I still believe new all-time highs will be coming in the next few months for Tesla. Very bullish on it. Clearly, we had a manipulation, reclaimed the support, and it just moved into this range. So the next area to try and retest has to be $500, right? To see if it's valued at that high. All right, are there sellers at 500? And I bet you that there is going to be a lot of sellers at 500. And once they get squeezed out, you get a crazy pump. And I think that'll be the high of possibly the year for Tesla. Who knows? But yeah, we're going to see how that all plays out. But that's pretty much it with these stocks and crypto analysis. Remember to like and subscribe. Yeah. Like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me on X. Like the video. And that's pretty much it. Until next time, take care.